Making $1,000 every single weekend with DoorDash is pretty hard, but it's not impossible. And how do I know that? Well, because I did it just a couple weeks ago. In fact, I actually made $1,100 in a weekend. So what did I do to make that amount of money in just one single weekend? Well, that's what I'm going to be telling you guys in this video. So the first thing you're going to want to do is start off pretty early in the morning. I started off at around 7 a.m. I found that anything before that, and you're really not making the most of your time out there, you don't really get many orders, so it's best to just start at 7 a.m. I mean, you could maybe try 6:30, maybe 6 o'clock. You're probably just going to end up making like $10, $15 during that first hour, and that's not going to be worth it. The next thing you should really try to do, but it is kind of hard, is to only take one break during your entire shift. Now, the reason I say that is because you're going to have to go out for a long time on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you're definitely going to need a break, but it's best to just take one kind of longer break in the middle of the day rather than taking like 2 or 3 smaller breaks. And the reason that is because it kind of throws off the flow of everything and you end up having to drive back home, or I don't know, it just ends up wasting more time than what you're going to want to be wasting if you're trying to make $1,000 in a weekend. So the next thing I did was I did longer shifts on Saturday and Sunday and kind of a shorter one on Friday. And that's because Saturdays and Sundays are a lot busier in my area and they're way more consistent. Friday can sometimes be hit and miss, so I just decided to do the bulk of the hours I was working on Saturday and Sunday, even though I still went out for quite a while on Friday, because you're honestly going to need to if you're going to hit that $1,000. Now, something that could actually tell you when the best times to go out is this app called Solo. With that app, you can actually schedule your dashes out, and if you don't make the money that the Solo app tells you you're going to make, then they'll make up the difference. So it's like guaranteed pay, and it can also show you how much you can expect to make during certain hours. So if you want to use that app to help you make that $1,000 every single weekend, then click the link down below in the description and you'll get a $10 sign-up bonus when you download the app and link one of your gig accounts. So that can really come in handy to have that guaranteed pay, and also you're going to want to use that to track your mileage. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is definitely hustle a lot, because with DoorDash, sometimes you can get caught lollygagging around, and you're definitely not going to want that, because then you're just wasting time. You're going to want to be on top of things, because if you're not, then you're going to end up going out longer than you need to, rather than if you just hustled, ran up to the houses instead of walked, maybe run up apartment stairs, go into restaurants without looking at your phone first, all that good stuff that ends up just wasting valuable time. The next thing I did was I made sure I had my cash orders on. There were plenty of times throughout this weekend where I got some really great cash orders, because on the weekend, lots of people are ordering pizza, and through the pizza apps, a lot of people pay with cash. And sometimes those can be really big tips, as I came to find out. So all you have to do is go into your app, and I believe you just go into settings. I'll probably throw up a screen recording or something just to show you guys exactly where it is, but there should be a little tab that says cash on delivery orders, and then you just switch that to on, and then you can now receive those types of orders. Now, this next one kind of goes along with that cash on delivery orders, but you're going to want to make sure you join the pizza delivery program. Now, this is a separate program that you have to actually sign up for still, I believe. When I joined it, you still had to sign up for it, so I'm pretty sure you still have to. But basically, you can just search on Google DoorDash pizza delivery program, and then you just fill out a form, submit a picture of your pizza bag, and then within a couple days, you're in that program. And the reason you're going to want to do that is because the weekends are the best time for these pizza orders, and I see a bunch of them, and they are absolutely massive, to be honest with you guys. Now, sometimes you do get some really bad, let's say, Little Caesars orders. And yeah, that's kind of the downside of the pizza delivery program, but I think the benefits definitely outweigh the cons, because you get orders like this, just absolutely massive ones. And sometimes they give you a cash tip on top of it. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is make sure you're paying attention to drop-off locations. These can really derail your shift if you're not paying attention. So basically, you want to make sure you're not taking anything that goes out of your zone, unless the pay is just absolutely absurd. I'm talking like $2.50, $3 per mile or something like that. Then maybe you can take those orders, but you're going to want to stay relatively in the same spot, around the same hotspot. Don't take any orders that take you into weird areas or take you away from restaurant hubs, anything like that. those aren't going to be good orders because you're just going to end up wasting time having to drive back. But if you take orders that keep you around that certain area, then you're going to be able to get an order the second you drop off an order, if that makes sense. You're not going to have to drive back anywhere to get your next order. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do is not wait longer than $1 per minute at certain restaurants. So if you get an order for $8, don't wait longer than 8 minutes at that specific restaurant, because you're just going to end up wasting more and more time. And so what I like to do is just immediately go up to the restaurant worker, ask them if they have an estimated time, like, hey, do you know about how long this order is going to take? And then they usually give you a straight answer. Sometimes, unfortunately, they say, oh, it'll just be a second, and then you end up waiting like 10 more minutes. But you're going to want to avoid waiting at restaurants at all costs. And if you've been dashing for a while, then you probably know what restaurants those are to avoid. But if you're brand new, then it might take some getting used to. It might take a couple weeks to learn what those restaurants are. Now, the last thing, and maybe honestly the most important thing, is you're definitely going to want to have music playlists, you're going to want to have podcasts, you're going to want to have YouTube videos picked out beforehand so that you don't get bored. That was one of the biggest things I found, because you're going to be going on such long shifts. I'm talking like 15-hour ones. You're going to get bored driving around all day. So if throughout the week you find some music, you find some podcasts, you find some YouTube videos, just save them all up for that weekend push when you're going to be going out on the really long shifts. So then it keeps you busy, it keeps you motivated, it makes things a whole lot easier, because that's definitely going to be the biggest hurdle to overcome when making $1,000 in a weekend with DoorDash, is just the flat out wanting to quit. Getting bored, not wanting to do it. Because honestly, if you go out and work like 3 15-hour shifts, or like a 12-hour shift on Friday and then like 2 18-hour shifts on Saturday and Sunday, you will make $1,000 in most areas. So anyways, there you guys have it. Hopefully you learned something from this video. Hopefully you can take these things and start making $1,000 every weekend. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.